Was ist Desinformation? Darüber diskutierten Wissenschaftlerinnen, Journalistinnen und Politaktivistinnen aus Mittelosteuropa in Tutzing.
So, good afternoon. My name is Jonás Syrovátka. I'm working at the Prague Security Studies Institute, which is a think tank based in Prague, Czech Republic, focused on education and research in the security area. And in my portfolio, I have mainly disinformation, propaganda, and information operations. And aside of that, I have also the privilege to do my doctoral studies at the Masaryk University in Brno, where I focus on Russia and Russian politics. So in Czech Republic, we have quite elaborated research on like typical sources of disinformation and conspiracy theories, which are based around the French media outlets that are kind of mainly having populist, like extreme right-wing, nationalistic ideological framing. But it's, I think, very important not to forget that disinformation is actually a tool that might be used by everyone. So we also have politicians, public figures, and other various actors who are from the time to time using disinformation. If I should pick one specific thing that might be more interesting for Czech context than other context, I would mention the chain mails that are kind of very within which there we can see like the spreading of political messages, including disinformation that are targeting mainly elderly population and creating a significant challenge for let's say including this part of population into political and social debate. I mean, like the great advantage of Czech Republic is that the debate about disinformation is actually very dynamic and very extensive, that we are talking about this phenomenon at least since 2015. And since then there was a possibility for a lot of various organizations to kind of develop and come up with their strategies. And I would argue that we have quite a good system of monitoring disinformation by civil society actors. There is a lot of attempts to work on educational issues, and most recently, actually, the fight against disinformation also started to be interesting for the business community, which is very more cautious where they place their advertisements. So, in this sense, I think that's a very hopeful development. But on the other hand, I think that what is some sort of challenge for Czech civil society and maybe Czech society in general to overcome is stop perceiving disinformation solely as a part of Russian influence operations. I would argue that Russian influence operations are playing an important part in the area of disinformation, but I would argue that we have to put way more emphasis on political, social and media context, which allows disinformation to flourish in the Czech environment. What I would stress, maybe it's a bit general, but I think it's applicable also to the Czech Republic, that it's very important not to be afraid of disinformation, not to be too much afraid of disinformation. I mean, it's a challenge. It is something we have to research, tackle and address in various ways. But on the other hand, it's not something that could not be solved. I think that Czech Republic, under the closer scrutiny, suggests quite a lot of interesting examples, interesting and creative examples how to approach this challenge. And even though none of them is kind of so complex and elaborated that would solve disinformation for good, they all have a great potential to improve the situation at least a bit. And I think that's exactly what we should want, actually, do. And expect that by each of those small initiatives we improve a bit the situation, and if we combine them all together, then we kind of achieve like more meaningful public debate and better functioning democratic system.